All right, all right. What up, y'all? What up? What up? What up, everybody? I had Cuse in here, but looks like his battery died, so he's gonna have to go charge up, or might have been his Wi-Fi, but he got cut out. He froze. But what up, y'all? So I got two answers for y'all. I don't remember who asked the questions, but I got two answers for y'all. So Ray Boyce was an outstanding football player, and the person that gave me this info compares him to Earl Campbell. And he says the only person he ever witnessed better than Ray Boyce at running back in person is Ricky Bell. So that says a lot. Being compared to Earl Campbell and Ricky Bell says a whole lot. Uh, and I was told further information is I was told he played football in YTS and he was a star. And his counselor told him, man, go home, leave this stuff alone, go enroll in college, and make a nice career out of this. So when he came home, bounty hunters kind of pulled him in. Now I'm hearing he wasn't no front line, he wasn't out there gang banging, but he got sucked back into the streets. And so the second answer, somebody asked me, did Raymond Washington play football? I said, yeah, he played football in Tracy Prison. So the information I got, the person asked me what position did he play, and I didn't know. I said, I'll find out for you. So the information is Raymond Washington played linebacker. And the reason why he played linebacker is because he loved to hit. On top of that, he was very fast and very strong. So you know he was putting in work out there on that football field. So yeah, I got those two answers for y'all. And tonight I got OG Cutes on here. OG Cutes want to come on tonight. I was watching a Laker game and enjoying the Laker game, and I was surprised at how many people are actually live right now on YouTube in this genre. Like, that's crazy to me. But this our regular time, and end of the Laker game. What up, Cutes?
What up, brother? What's up, Mac kids and maniacs? We could say it's been an eventful Friday night. You
Oh yeah.
know,
Oh, Friday for sure
yeah,
in America.
in America, yeah, in the United States. Yeah. So it's a lot to talk about. We could, get on some good topics, get some good feedback, hear some of you guys' opinion on certain things that's been going on. It was something that was perplexing and bothering me. Like I was watching the news last night, and Jean Hackman. I mean, he played in Superman. He played in he was Popeye Doyle in the French Connection. This guy was a great actor, right? So they find him dead in his home, and then, well, he was 95, so they find his wife dead. She was a little younger than him by a few decades, and then the dog was dead. So then the police make this statement that nothing was missing from the home, and this guy lives in a big old mansion. So how do they know that nothing's missing? Just because the little a popcorn thief would go straight for diamonds and pictures and whatnot, but a real crook might be just looking for one little bitty thing, like a little contract, or you don't know. So I don't see how they could have made that statement so fast. Nothing was missing, and then so the day the medical examiner, they some of the process is already done. They said it wasn't carbon monoxide. They thought maybe that might have been the cause because his wife was found near a floor heater, and then the pills that had spilled out, and then so they said, well, they did, they doing the process of elimination. They said it doesn't look like anyone, no foul play, so they put that out there. They said the door wasn't locked, and they just left it like maybe it could have been open, but it wasn't locked. And then they said that Mr. Hackman had a pacemaker, so they knew that it hadn't been, communicating for, I guess, like over 2 weeks, well, a week and a half. They said that was the last time they had got a reading from it. So that's a long time. So what do you guys think was the cause of death? Well, he dies, his wife's dead, and it's not carbon monoxide. He has more than one dog, but you know how you could have a house dog. So the German Shepherd in the house died. So what do you guys think happened?
Well, I don't know what happened. I didn't see no pictures or no video. I didn't even see it in the news. But I figure just the way you explained it to me, that it was possibly they had been poisoned and they fed some of the dog the food that had been poisoned. But uh, I'm sure they're gonna set it up like it was a suicide. But I don't know. Q. I'll wait for the comments. Compton girl said hi.
Hi.
Something foul about that.
Yeah, something's fine. What's up, Compton girl? Well, this is why I don't think it was a suicide because of, it looks like when someone would just spill pills like that, they trying to set something up and take you in that direction. And so I don't think the pills had anything to do with it. It's like when Marilyn Monroe was murdered. You know, they had the pill thing, and then they figured out who could swallow that many pills. Later on. Then they come to find out that maybe that would have been involved with the Kennedy stuff, but no one ever dug into that. But I don't well, okay, so they were in love with each other, they've been together all the time, and if it was a suicide, they would have been like laying by each other.
I don't think they would have killed the dog.
Yeah, and I can't and they got more dogs.
Oh,
So it don't make no sense.
I expect nothing less from a dog lover like you. But let me get to Kiba. Thank you,
Okay.
Kiba. Thank you, OG Steve. Kiba said, hello, you two young men. Happy Friday.
Happy
His
Friday.
pacemaker show he had been dead a whole week before. Yeah, Q told
Exactly.
me that.
Yeah. So what do you guys think? So that gives us a timeline. Now remember, they got maintenance people, those people very rich. So people are coming on a little compound. It's like a mansion, big ass place. So the door is open. Someone said they called it in. One of the caretakers called it in and said they could see him from where they were looking. They could see someone laying on the floor. You know.
GH said they were assassinated. Sounds like some kind of foul play going on.
I kind of agree with that. Or poison.
Tony Moore got a joke, but
What'd he
jo-
say?
jokes aren't great when people die. He said,
Nah, not really.
spoiled little Debbie Honey Buns did it.
Oh shit. He been to
Um,
the
so,
joint talking
so,
about little Debbie's.
so Cuse, you was a little antsy today. Normally you wait and let me give you a lead in and stuff. You just jump right into the story, but but but
My timing was off.
it's all good. No, it's all good. I just want to get a few words in and tell OG Steve that I like that light blue Atlanta hat, Atlanta Braves hat he had on Instagram. That's a proper hat right there. I like this shit. I
Yeah.
remember a few years ago, OG Steve posted a nice picture with an Atlanta hat on. I said, "Man, Steve, that's the wrong hat, man. Dodgers," and they ended up beating the Dodgers that year.
Yeah, that's
OG
good.
Cuse and Big Kev, I don't care about him. He didn't know me, nor I him. For all I know, that fool could have followed Aleister Crowley.
Ooh.
Uh,
I like
yeah,
to watch movies though. And
yeah.
some movies, if an actor does a good job, I like that. I like that role. I like the role he played in Popeye Doria. I liked it that role.
Somebody said they better investigate Gene's kids.
Now,
Oh,
see
that was
now
great.
the plot thickens. Something foul happened, man. It just it's too clean. No trauma. No visual trauma to the bodies. It's like come on, man. Carbon monoxide, man. That would have been now that that's been eliminated. Now, what else could you look at? Somebody spills pills on a counter. What would you think they were? Oxycodone?
Well, of course, they'll know what type of pills they were. Since I don't know the story, I'm going to read Crystal's comment. She said, according
Okay.
to TMZ, his daughter said for him to be 95, he was in good shape. And the wife was allegedly found with pills. At 90 and 95, around 95, it ain't out of the ordinary to have some pills around, that's for sure.
Yeah, there's going to be some pills around. They got the statins and all that. As people get older, they got to have some pills. But I like if you go drop pills, they would be all over the floor, everywhere. What do? You just take a pill, you hold in a bottle, now you drop the pills because you didn't OD. Yeah, that sounds, it's kind of weird.
OG Steve, shout out to the A team, man. Atlanta and the A's. A's will be in Vegas pretty soon, man. Um, I see a lot of people in the comment section want to talk about Trump and Zelensky today.
Okay, that's our second topic.
All right. I'm gonna let you have at it because I piss people off too much, or they don't understand what I be trying to convey to them. I will say this though. Fitzgerald left a comment saying that Trump is gangster as fuck, right? Well, I'm gonna say this: Trump is gangster, but that dude Zelensky, to me, that's just my opinion. Zelensky actually made Trump look weak and look like a buster and embarrassed him on the world stage. He embarrassed him so much that Trump is distancing himself from all our allies and kissing Russia's ass. That's not gangster to kiss your enemy's ass. I mean, I never found that to be gangster.
No. Why would you? Okay, so let's set it up. So he's talking about he wants peace. Okay, so the president wants peace. So he has a meeting with Putin, but he doesn't invite Zelensky. So he has the meeting without him. So he says he could end this war on day one, which was a little, you know, uh, unrealistic. But anyway, he's trying, so to speak. So he has the meeting with Putin. He comes out of that meeting. The first thing he says in his second or third press conference, he calls Zelensky a dictator. And he just went and had a meeting with a dictator. So that was kind of weird there. I think everything was set up because he doesn't even have JD Vance in the room with him hardly on anything. His sidekick is Musk. So I think they set all that up, and it was like just a ploy so he could just draw completely away from supporting them, and he really want to get the mineral rights and all of that, but he didn't even get those signed today because everything kind of went haywire. But tell him, you appreciate what we did for you so far. Everything is centered around making Zelensky look weak, but he's not weak. He's very strong. I mean, over 1 million people that got killed already in the war. He's over there basically when all of them drones is blowing shit up. You don't think they tried to blow him up yet? They're gonna try to blow him up on the way back home. So he better hope he don't get tipped off.
Yeah, I was shocked to see JD Vance have such a big role today. But I,
It was
I
all
thought I,
pre-rehearsed.
I thought two things. I found two things funny about that conversation or that fiasco today. One was when Trump said, "You don't have the right cards," and Zelensky said, "I'm not playing cards."
Yeah.
and then,
This
and
yeah.
then one of the journalists or reporters asked Trump a question about what if, and Trump said, "What if somebody drop a bomb on your head?" I fell out
Yeah.
laughing, man.
It was, and it was crazy. Trump doesn't remember 2014. They and then JD Vance had to say 2014 is when he broke the first agreement. You know what I mean? He broke the agreement. He didn't release, the prisoners that he had, and he just continued as the years went by to get more. So Trump was
Yeah,
trying to put it.
I kind of thought Trump is not going to be too fond of being corrected by his vice president.
No.
Because Trump was talking about 2015, and they had to correct Trump and say 2014.
Yeah.
But
It's weird, man. But I don't know, man. That never happened before. Where everyone could see it. And like you said, I don't think it works in Trump's favor. And it made him look weak. It made him look like they kissing Putin's ring.
yeah, that's how it made me feel. But
Yeah.
I think pretty much, of course, like everything in America and everything dealing with Trump, you're gonna have people that think Trump look weak, and then there's gonna be the other half that's gonna think Zelensky look weak. But I was watching these leaders of all these other nations, our allies, and I didn't see not one of them say that. But of course, the media pick and choose who they want to talk to. But not one of them condoned what Trump did today. They all said they're gonna ride with Zelensky all the way. So
You got to strike the iron. You got to strike the iron when it's hot to get a shape out of it. So what they ought to do is put a bill up right now to send some javelins over there. Since Trump said he sent him the javelins, and all Biden did was send you some sheets, and because right now they would have a bipartisan vote for things to be in favor of a big budget going over there right now. If they would send him something, but right now they can't sign the budget that they already proposing now because they ain't gonna get the votes for that budget.
yeah, I mean when you say those things, Rob Moses, that's a fact. Trump likes how Putin gets down. Putin don't like the LBGT. Putin also thinks Russian population is dropping. In some way, Trump about American Caucasian. But
I think Trump likes Putin because it's like what
listen,
the young lady said. He's scared. Trump is really scared of those dictators.
well, Trump is scared because you could tell the way he was talking about World War III. Like he don't want that World War III issue. So he's trying to nip it in the bud and not have to, have to go to battle with. And I don't mean on the battlefield, but I mean to go against Putin. But I, I I think Trump loves him because the Reagan election. I think he hates Zelensky because he didn't turn over some stuff on Biden and Biden's son last time Trump was
Exactly.
in office. He
Yeah.
told he told the world that when he get back in office, he was gonna get retribution on everybody that went against him. So that's what we witnessing right now.
Yeah. That's exactly what we're witnessing right now. And what is playing out right now is that are they going to get an agreement, or is there going to be a okay? He said a ceasefire. He doesn't want a ceasefire. He wants more than a ceasefire because he said the guy went back on his word before. He wants more protection. Zelensky wants more protection than a ceasefire.
Yeah, well, the deal was Zelensky came over here thinking, okay, they had a deal, but supposedly, and Zelensky went off after Trump kicked him out the White House. Zelensky, like, man, I wouldn't, I'm not sitting down with Trump no more. He like, I'm cool on that. I'm done with that. But
Yeah.
um, Zelensky didn't want to just America. How can America just tell them what they're gonna do and what they're not gonna do? Zelensky, like, we giving you what you want. What do we get out the deal? And that goes back to what you said. He wanted some security put on his country. They done
Yeah,
lost a lot of people, and he done had a lot of sleepless nights and all this stuff. And so he don't want to just quit.
yeah.
He's
Trump's confusing, you know, economics with diplomacy. He's not. He's talking to this guy like he's a boss, like he's the boss of a family. He's trying to like pressure that guy, Zelensky. They tried to make him look real weak, but it was all pre-rehearsed that they were going to jump him that way because they wanted to impress Putin. That's why he wasn't invited to the first meeting. So they came back and said, "Watch how I put him in his place." So they thought they was going to just make him hucklebuck. They tried to punk him, so to speak. Like remember, like I said, when the Magnificent Sevens went up to Washington and the Crips surrounded us and they was trying to punk us, but we wouldn't punk. Remember I said that?
yeah.
Now they try to do the Zelensky. Hey, he's sitting there by himself. JD Vance is over here ambushing him. He got ambushed.
He did.
Yeah,
And you're right. You're right. And Derek Lewis is right. It did look like a setup. And so this is the part I want to mention.
yeah.
Is supposedly, allegedly, from what I've seen reported, half of the people in there from the media was from Russia. They was Russia's people. So when does that happen? Why and how does that happen? So uh, absolutely, it looked like an ambush. Plus, Trump, it looked rehearsed with Trump because he was nice and calm while he was disrespecting dude. He was making dude, he was trying to make dude mad and upset. He's over speaking him, he's belittling him and throwing demands on him. So he wanted him to act like that. The same way you could do Trump. Somebody could do Trump like that just as easy. It's like pulling a string on a puppet.
Trump read this guy's personality wrong, and when he did that, that dude had so much composure, coolness, and he just said, "Just because you raising your voice, basically, doesn't mean you're right," because he told him he was raising his voice. He was trying to drown him out. It sucks because here it is, they're over there fighting for their life, and they're already taking over their land. They think that a tyrant would stop right there. They'd keep marching all the way through Europe. And
Yeah.
then it's like Zelensky said. He said, we got a big ocean too. Meaning he could just keep coming this way.
Yeah, I think the end game is America just saving money, not protecting our allies or our country. And I definitely think that once Trump got the minerals, he wasn't going to give a damn about Ukraine. He's going to
No.
let Russia do whatever Russia wants to do.
It's not good that he got all of those admirals, all of those generals. He got rid of all of them. Those people had knowledge, man. Those people know how to fight wars and
Oh
they know how
man,
to
he
train.
got rid of that top black general, man, when he hired that black lady that got out of prison. And that was to hide, disguise how he really feel about black people, man.
Do we got any of those black maggots in his cabinet that he has now? Any one black person? Not one?
No, I don't know. So on to the next subject because I hate
Okay.
talking politics on this channel
Okay. Yeah,
because
we hit it good. We hit it good and
yeah,
short.
yeah, we hit it good enough. So I want
Yeah.
to show you a picture, and I
Okay.
want you to tell me who are these two dudes in this picture, Cutes?
Okay, let's see.
Is it big enough?
Yeah. That looks like Hilton Booker. And the other guy is the other guy. That's Hilton. Both of those were Magnificent Sevens.
Nah, you talk about him all the time. You used to you had his back with a little Roscoe when he used to play tennis.
Oh, that's Jim Brown over there.
Yeah, that's Jim Brown, man.
Yeah, that's Jim Brown. Wow, Jim looks young in that picture,
Yeah,
man.
look at his face.
Damn. He
Look at
liked it
Hilton
on
Booker,
book.
man.
He liked it Hilton, huh?
Look at your Magnificent Seven, man.
Yeah, he probably said, "Yeah, man, Cute used to have my back at the park." He said, I
KP know who he is. KP Video News.
Yeah.
All right, now I'm gonna show you a guy. I doubt if you know him. If you know this dude, man, I would never doubt you ever again in life. Not that I
All
do
right,
doubt you, but I'm just saying.
all right, let's see.
This is a good one for you. You may not know him, but you might because you recruited his son. So let me show you.
All right.
I shouldn't have gave you that hint, but do you know who that guy is? Professional boxer. Back in the 1930s.
Bring it down. Let me see. He's from the 1930s,
Yeah,
and I recruited his son.
yeah.
That dude had to be a good boxer to have a face like that, man.
He
He's not
kind of
all.
looked like the guy a little bit. At
He's
least
not.
his bone structure does.
He's not busted up at all. So that was his daddy still alive when I recruited his son?
I don't know. I'm gonna tell you, he was. Oh no, I'm sorry. That was the grandfather. I'm sorry.
Oh, okay. That's Hilton's grandfather.
Yes, that's his
Yeah,
granddad.
yeah,
Middleweight
yeah,
boxer,
yeah.
middleweight boxing contender of the 1930s and the 1940s.
Yeah, his father, his grandfather was a hog.
Man,
Hey, you know who else had a uncle that was a hog?
who?
Uh, Bad News.
Oh,
He used to fight on the wide world of sports.
yeah. I heard Bad News got cool squabbles back when he was young.
Oh yeah,
Was you in
Bad
the
News
pen?
had squabble.
Was you there when he got all his fingers cut off in prison?
Yeah, well, what happened? He worked in the machine shop. He didn't get them cut off. They got grinded in the machine, and
Mm,
they broke them and twisted
mm,
them, and they saved them and sewed them back together.
mm.
And he got mobility in him, but it kind of deformed his hand a little.
Damn.
Yeah, that was awful. And so I was watching. I like to watch these old prison tapes that they show on YouTube. So I was watching one about inside San Quentin, and then Bad News was right there being interviewed. It was
Yeah.
he was talking to the lady, and then he talked to her for a little while, and then the homie said, "Come on, let's go," and then they walked away, and then the lady started interviewing two more people, but she just came out on the yard with a camera. So
Ta-
that had to be like back in the 80s.
Tampa, Florida. What up with it? It's almost baseball season. Hey, that's a trip, man. You guys came from a rich history of dudes and their families back in your days, man. Um,
Yeah, and black people used to like stick together, and the black people that lived in Windsor Hills, Baldwin Hills, the celebrity type people, they wasn't afraid to come down,
and
on
put,
Stockton and like Red Fox and them, they wasn't afraid to come all the way down to Florence and Western.
now I got a picture of Red Fox at Centinela Park in the 70s.
Yeah, they would
I,
come down. Muhammad Ali's brother, he would come to Centinela Park every Sunday with us.
man, I got a couple pictures in Centinela Park. I was telling my audience about 4 or 5 days ago. I wonder if y'all was ever up there when I was up there, because at that age, I didn't know nothing about no Crip or blood, so I could have seen y'all and didn't even know y'all was gangsters.
Yeah, he was probably just up there having fun on the swings and in the bar area where all the fun stuff was at for kids.
Yeah, really, what really happened is because my mother had moved down from Stockton, and there was a few other people from up
Yeah,
north, like from the Bay Area. So we would have picnics. We would have a yearly picnic where Stockton and Frisco and them used to come down
Oh, so
to the
y'all would be
right.
over there by the wooden picnic tables.
Yeah, off in the grass
Yeah.
in the park, like you said, where they do the comedy and the shows, the music shows and stuff
Yeah,
like
the
that.
stage and
Yeah, the
everything.
stage.
Yeah. That was cool, man. That was a cool park.
Yeah.
I should have went over there the other time when I was down there, but I was right up over it. Because when you're in Manchester, the park sits down in the ground, and Manchester sits up over the park.
Next
I
time
mean,
I'm
not Manchester, Florence. Florence sits up over the park.
in Houston with my sister, I'm gonna ask her about Centinela Park because she's 7 years older than me, so she would know more of what was going on than I did.
Yeah, she went to Crenshaw too, didn't she?
Nah, she went to Palisades.
Oh, Palisades. Okay.
My sister, my oldest sister, is resting in peace. She went to Crenshaw.
Okay, that's the one that probably was going there the same time I was going there.
Yeah, she was a year under you, and my brother went to Crenshaw. He was a year above you.
Where was the Jacksons going? The Palisades?
I don't know. I had no idea.
No, it's another school. I know the name of it over here. It wasn't L.A. There was a school called L.A. over there called, and then there was another school a little further in. I can't think of the name of it, but that's the school that they went to.
Q's Uncle Al lived in the farms in Compton. Did you know Mac Thomas?
Yeah, yeah, everybody knew Al, Big the Bell. They called him Bell, called him Big Bell. Yeah, he was known in Compton.
Everybody
He,
say Mac lived in the farms, but his address, I think, is actually in Spooktown. Though.
no, I went over Mac's house. They lived over there where there were animals. Mac had a horse in his backyard.
I wonder. I remember you telling me that. I wonder if they moved though, because he got a Spooktown address, and
I don't know, but
His crime was from Spooktown too.
I remember when me and Big Bunchy went over there, and we were with Crip Connie, the original Crip Connie, and she told me that the Grandies was somewhere right around there.
KP said they went to Fairfax High School.
There you go. That was the school. Thanks, man. Fairfax. You know where that's at?
Yeah, I know what it said. They
Okay,
had the
so
finest women when I was young.
yeah, that was the school, Fairfax. That's the name of the school.
Okay, so this question has came up twice. Did the Magnificent Seven ever have more than seven members?
Oh yeah, we had more than seven. Yeah, we had more than seven.
I think Mac was 1953.
Well, who was 1953?
Mac Thomas birth year.
Mac wasn't that tall. Mac was like
No,
five
no,
foot
no,
six.
no, his birth year.
Oh, the birth year. Oh, okay.
And
Yeah.
let me rephrase that. I, I I I know I said it the first time, but the second time I didn't. I said it wrong, but I was saying by his address to me appears to be in Spooktown. I didn't mean to say he lived in Spooktown, but it
Oh,
appeared
okay.
that address
It
was.
appeared. I know what you're saying. Now they had a beautiful house. They had a beautiful house, big house with a big old glass picture window in the front. His parents were upper middle class.
Okay, productive P. This is what I want you to realize. And if you know this already, then be more specific. It was more than one Crip Jackie. So which Crip Jackie are you asking about? They want to know will you write a book one day, Cutes?
Yeah, I'm working on a book now.
That's good to hear, man. Mac, I mean Rob, I'm telling you, I believe 1953.
So you got
Yeah,
Jackie Todd.
exactly. They're not understanding the question. I mean, what I'm
Yeah.
telling them to be specific. But go ahead, Jackie Todd.
Yeah, you got East Side Crips. You had Jackie Todd. You had another young lady named Jackie, and you had the cripple. You had Tora. You had Monkey. You, or no, you had Monkey Man's sister Ella. You had Tookie's old lady Bonnie. You had Yo-Yo. She died very young. Like she was no more than in the 11th grade, maybe like could have been the 10th or the 11th grade. She was beautiful. She died. That's when Tookie and all of us, we just started, coming down on the little homies and the big homies hard if you were huffing, because she died from huffing. So anybody caught huffing, we would kick them off the set or give them a Thunderdome after that had happened. But
Yeah,
there was a lot of young ladies, man. Our girl car was deep. Sometimes the ladies would turn the party out.
man. Anyway, I don't want to give out no wrong information, so I'm gonna keep my mouth shut. I'm not gonna speak on something I don't know. But
No,
um,
you could give out what's been documented, or you a historian.
yeah, but I don't too much want to indulge in other people's stuff. Sometimes
Yeah.
I let them ask what they ask. Let's just put it like this. Most people keep asking about the Crip Jackie that Spider Loke went to the funeral. That's
She
one,
was from the east side too.
yeah, and yeah, from 6ix9ine. For the record, uh,
But that's
when
not
Bonnie
Jackie Todd.
when Bonnie Williams talks about Crip Jackie, she was not talking about that one.
No, she's talking about Jackie Todd.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, good looking out, John Lange and Casey. Appreciate y'all. Jerry Allen. OGQ's much love, family from Courtesy Flush. I think that's the dude that peeled out on you, man.
Well, keep it up, man. You can bust out on me now because I ain't been buffing. I'll be back. My go date is gonna be June or July.
Now,
Hey man,
somebody,
I was I didn't mean to interrupt you, Kev.
go ahead. Go ahead.
Oh, I was watching the Golden Age, a bodybuilding, right? So I typed in Michael Christian, ching ching. So all of them came up. But he had a lot of interviews. So he had said one. He came on there. The dude was interviewing him, and this is after he's older, and the guy Mike's telling him how he got started, and then he said he had ran. He didn't name us, but he just said, "Yeah, I ran with these dudes in L.A., and this and that. I went to the youth authority." So he told that little part, but he's like Munson. He don't want to stay in there. He just jumps out of there. Then he goes to the good life, because he talked about how he won all of those contests. He won 5 contests in a row. And so he said he got that same exhilaration, that same excitement that he was getting for doing the bad stuff. And when it started coming for the good stuff, he said, "I'm gonna stay in with this." He didn't want to be a bodybuilder, pro, because they wore those tights, because he couldn't see himself wearing those. And so that was funny. Then he said, "Man,
You,
I put them on and won my first contest, second, third, fourth, fifth." And I was like, damn, he was knocking those contests down.
man, they said the Lakers just won. That's 5 straight again. That's
Oh, good.
that might be 10 out of the last 11 games they won. So
So,
so anyway,
yeah.
Eric said he just shot you something, OG Cutes. He said he appreciated it.
Hey, appreciate you, brother, for sure.
Yeah, that's good to hear the Lakers won. The Cutes know. Oh, I want to say something else. So somebody else in the comment section said the Jacksons went to Birmingham High School.
Well, I don't know, but I know for sure that the school that brother named, that was the school they were going to. Because I remember, okay, me and Mike's the same age. Maybe I'm a year older than Mike or a few months. But so I remember they were saying people were actually going to that school that lived furthest down in South Central as I did. some of the people were going to that school, and they said that Michael Jackson, his brother, and them they checked him into that school. Now you
KP,
got to,
go ahead.
huh? Okay,
Go
so
ahead.
Mike might have not have made it to that grade yet because he would have to be in high school when his brothers are in them, or well, he had to be in junior high school when his brothers in them are in high school.
OG Steve says salute, cutes, much respect.
For sure, Steve. What's up, brother?
KP Video News asks, the cutes know Decky, Black Devil, Nine Deuce Halldale Crip. He was Kelsey's cousin.
I knew Kelsey very good, and his little brother, R.I.P. Rest in peace, was on death row. I grew up with Kelsey and them. Kelsey's family um, had a little barbecue slash bar in the '90s on Western, and they moved out to Carson. I believe Kelsey started the Carson Crips down there. Or he was definitely one of the founders. And his cousin, I had to know him, had to know his cousin because I ran with all of those guys. Those are my basic friends. But he would run with Mo and them, and all of them were from the 9-0s up there. But we didn't call them 9-0s. We just called them West Side that lives in the 90s.
I know that the Lakers, what's the name with the beard? Played for the Rockets, I think. Anyway, the sports announcer was saying that the Lakers defense looks really good.
So who's
Perkins.
the captain?
Per-
LeBron?
Perkins. I'm
Oh.
sure LeBron's the captain. Shit, they might as well deem him the owner or some shit.
Well, they're probably starting to really listen to him. I bet he picked that squad that's on the floor.
Well, two of their starters was out. Hachimura and Reeves. Reeves got hurt. He had about 6 points and got hurt.
Oh.
But they didn't look that bad without Reeves and Hachimura, which I don't think would be a bad idea to bring them two off the bench. That way they have some scoring in the second unit.
At least they got a bench.
Yeah, finally, shit, after all these
Yeah.
years.
Man, did I tell you one day I was going up Harbor Drive, man, and I saw this. It was like maybe a football and a field away, and I'm like, damn, that motherfucker's tall. What is I'm looking at? You ever seen one of them circus bikes that sit up real high in the
Yeah,
sky?
yeah,
I thought a dude was riding down the Harbor Boulevard on the circus bike because I said, this can't be real what I'm looking at. So as I started getting closer and the bike was coming toward me, but on the other side of the street, man, Bill Walton is still a giant.
yeah,
That's crazy. I said, man, that was Bill Walton on that damn bike. So I went back to work and I said, hey, man, I saw a dude on a bike, man, yesterday. And they said, who did you see? I said, I saw this big old tall white dude. He looked like Bill Walton. I could swear it was him. And then the foreman said, yeah, that's him. He always, when he comes around there, he rides down that road right there. I said, yeah, I seen him, man. I said, that dude is still tall like that. He said, yeah. You know how they say you shrink when you get older? It doesn't
yeah,
look like he shrunk. Remember when Shaq was at the bench and he was
yeah,
walking by and then he saw Kareem Abdul-Jabbar and he didn't. He was like, "Oh, that's Kareem. Let me give him his props." And then Kareem, at first Kareem was sitting down and Kareem, wait a minute, I gotta stand up to show Shaq some respect too. Man, when Kareem stood up, he looked taller than Shaq, huh?
yeah, yeah. Oh, Kareem.
Yeah.
Hey, I seen a cold comment from this girl I know.
Okay.
She don't like LeBron. She hate LeBron's nuts, right? Let me
Yeah.
read it to you. Let me find it and
Okay.
read it to you. If she's watching, she's gonna trip.
All right.
And I think Bill Walton passed some years ago.
Oh, that sucks.
All right, so here you go. She said, go past Kareem and Hickey playing age, and I will certainly have a newfound respect. I'm the one that wants to know why Kareem Abdul-Jabbar is never mentioned in the GOAT conversations. When we talk about body of work, everybody is not the GOAT. Everybody's not even top five. I respect the business, how you say it, acumen, and almost more than basketball player. No disrespect. I fully believe you can play until you're 45 if you want to. So she's giving LeBron props, but she's saying, for you are not better than Kareem. Like, why we keep leaving Kareem out these conversations?
Yeah, it's funny how they treated Kareem. It's just because he want to smoke some weed. It's like weed is legal now, but he was upfront with it, and so they was like, weed is just a stigma. We can't have him the poster child of the Lakers to be smoking weed. So we just gonna let him, work in the background on the training squad, for the sinners. But we're not gonna put too much light on him after this because he does smoke marijuana.
Damn, they
You
said
know.
Bill passed last year. It seemed like it was longer than that to me.
Well, I didn't even know Brother Bill had passed.
Yeah, but I
I,
thought it was about
I
three or
liked
four.
him. He was cool on that bike. I would keep going that way to see can I see him again, but I never seen him again.
Hmm.
I only got to
So,
see him once.
so Kareem played till he was like 42 years old. Kareem has the most points scored as an NBA player over 40.
You know why
So,
he had to play so long, Kev?
because he was
It's
broke.
Yeah, he let them investors cheat him. His house burnt down.
Yeah, he didn't
So
have no insurance on his house.
yeah, so it was a lot of tragedy came his way. But he wanted to probably rest and enjoy his knees a little bit, because that's hard on a man to play that long.
Hell yeah. But Kareem he's not well liked for other reasons. You got to
Yeah,
remember during civil rights, Kareem was he became a Muslim, and
yeah,
and also Kareem wasn't media friendly, and I tell everybody that about Barry Bonds early in his career. You have to respect the reporters because when it's time for you to go to the Hall of Fame or time for you to retire and they do them write ups, man, they are not gonna favor you if you wasn't cool with them in your during your the course of your career.
and being that shrewd at this time frame wasn't accepted, by the media. They wasn't going to embrace it. It was like, look at all the women that just made one little mistake and they were blackballed out of Hollywood. Eartha Kitt, she said one thing against the war or Nixon, and boom, she was done. Certain you got to look at you know the white girl, and she was married to not married to Ted Turner, but she was Ted Turner's girlfriend, and she went over on the Viet Con side and took some pictures, and then they was done with her too.
Man,
I mean, America was like, you can't speak against us, and we appreciate you. Look what they did to Muhammad Ali. Imagine Muhammad Ali's record if he didn't get taken out of the boxing game for that period of time. He would have had a bigger record of knockouts and wins.
yeah, yeah, man. Ron Moses, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar suffered from migraine headaches. That's a fact. That's why he started smoking weed. I didn't know that's why he started smoking weed. I don't remember that part, but I do remember he suffered from migraines really bad.
Man, weed would give me a migraine. That's
Me
crazy.
too. Me too.
If I smoke weed, it sometimes it would give me the worst headache in the whole world.
Yeah,
Somebody said, "Well, you
I
was
don't.
probably smoking seeds, nigga." I was like, "What
Hey,
the
sometimes
fuck?"
sometimes dudes be smoking weed, right? Dudes that's not from the West Coast, they be smoking weed, and that shit
Yeah,
give me a headache. And
yeah,
when I be trying to keep it real and be like, man, that's some bullshit. Like you ain't smoking no good weed, they get offended and shit. But when
yeah,
dudes come from from the West Coast and they be smoking that good weed, that shit don't bother me. That shit smell good.
Yeah. But I could get a headache from secondhand smoke too. So I'll move.
Absolutely.
I'll move out. I'll
That's
be
what.
outside and I'll go upwind or downwind. I just don't want the wind to get in me. I'll go the other
Yeah.
way.
Yeah, me too. Only my sister, I deal with my sister, and it took me for years, decades, to be able to withstand her smoke. I didn't. I
Uh-huh.
remember when I first moved to Vegas and I had that house, I couldn't stand cigarette smoke at that time.
Oh,
But
cigarette smoke.
but
When I
I
came home from the joint, my sister was a cigarette smoker. I said, the last thing I'm going to do is get
absolutely,
her to quit smoking cigarettes. And I'm a
absolutely,
champion. I
bartender.
got her. She don't smoke nothing. Well, she went to vaping. Then I worked on the vaping. Then now
Damn.
she don't do nothing.
Hey, brother, you shouldn't hang around people that smoke crack, homie. You need to
Nah,
find some new friends.
yeah, you got to find some new friends.
But I smoke organic so I can eat for real, for real.
Yeah.
Mm,
Oh, we ain't saying it's anything wrong with it. We're just saying how it affect us. That's all.
yeah.
We ain't looking down on you guys who want to smoke or girls.
No, no,
It
no,
ain't
no,
nothing like
no.
that. Yeah. I mean, I
I,
like to do things when it was illegal. When I was in juvenile hall, I wanted to smoke a cigarette. It's illegal. If I'm in the joint, maybe I smoke a joint. But when now that shit's legal, I don't need that shit.
Casey said, check this out, Cutes and Kev. I just started smoking bud after 29 years.
Ain't nothing wrong with it.
Yeah,
Shit.
hi, Chief. True story. Would you smoke a cool PCP today? I would,
I
said
would.
Michael. Not me.
Not me. I
I ain't
wouldn't go
never,
near it.
I ain't
I
never
wouldn't even
had
want
it.
to be in the room with someone who had a wet daddy. I would say, wait a minute, this guy's unpredictable. I'm out of here.
KP said that Mexican dirt weed was giving y'all headaches.
Yeah, we were smoking Bo, homeboy. We had straight Colombo. We wasn't playing with that dirt weed. Maybe elementary school we had the dirt weed.
Man. Well, another month down, you guys. January and February can be crossed out for those in the penitentiary. Only 10 more months left in this year, y'all.
Yeah, y'all getting close to your next board hearings. Don't get no write ups and learn your 12 steps and go in there, man, and let them know you deserve a date, a second chance. And you sorry for what you did to be in there. Don't blame nobody but yourself.
Nah, baby E, this is my regular time, fool. Your clock must be wrong, homie. You on daylight saving time. It's my regular time, man. It's finna be 10 o'clock. Kev, do guys doing federal time get paroled to a halfway house or home? Halfway house?
Halfway house. Hey, Kev, but do they have to make uh, like reservations to go there? Or are they mandated to go there?
I believe they mandated before they get there, they know where they're going. I
Okay.
think they get a list of the different ones and
Oh,
they
and they can,
choose. And
oh,
if
they
it's
choose.
eligibility, they get to go to the one they choose. I
Oh.
believe that's how it works.
I recommend anyone that gets out that's been in there a long time to go into a structured program and just don't come out and go home because you're not used to that dynamic of being around people and then somebody might rub you the wrong way and you really don't know how to process through it. You'll find yourself locked back up real fast.
Yeah.
So go to group homes. Might seem like it ain't right, but you'll learn a lot in a group home.
This fool said that's the Chinese weed from Arkansas they smoking. I don't think you could find any more. The closest to it is Northern Lights. I don't know what they're talking about there.
Oh, the Northern Lights. It's them lights, them colors.
My birth,
Imagine living over there and you could just you have psychedelics and you looking at that shit.
we got a question from Egypt. OG Cutes, would you say a new release try to go into some type of apprenticeship program like refrigeration or something like that?
Any HVAC is good. The gold has to be realistic and attainable. So the person who's seeking out this goal, who wants to achieve it, it has to be within their realm of understanding. So I think a goal like that would be very good for a person who served time. Start reading about what you want to do before you get out. Start priming the pump now. So, like, look at small technicians. That's a good one to go into.
Okay,
Diesel truck driver is
so I
good.
got a good one for you, Cutes.
Yeah,
When you was in Tracy prison, did they have a welding program?
yeah. They had everything. They had Tracy had small airplane. They had air. Loopy was doing airframe. They had airframe, air motor. So they had that. Remember, I wasn't a programmer in Tracy. I was a program failure. So I didn't see those programs. I didn't seek them out. But they had. If you
Okay,
wanted to rehabilitate or habilitate, you could in Tracy because it was Do Vocational Institution.
right.
That's the
DVI.
name. Yeah,
So
DVI.
so so Cutes.
Yeah.
Last question about that. So they had a swimming pool in Tracy, right? While you was there, or no?
Yeah. Yeah. I used to walk with like 400 pounds on my back up to the pool steps and all the way back down to the iron pile.
400 pounds?
Yeah.
Damn, you was a beast.
Well, certain parts of me was real strong.
Shit, I bet when you hit somebody, it came with power.
Yeah. Yeah. I was real strong. I didn't know people remembered me doing that, but sometimes people will remind me what I used to do. So I
So,
remember you
so,
used to
so
walk that weight over there, them guards in that gun tower, they'd be watching you. And I'd be saying they would. They say, yeah, man. They say this fool gonna drop this weight on somebody.
man, when I knocked dude out on the yard, man, the damn dude in the gun tower told me he seen me. He said, "Cool punch."
Yeah,
He
sometimes the gun tower officers be cool.
yeah. Yeah, I thought he was trying to set me up. He asked for my ID. I said I left my ID in the
Yeah,
building. And he said, "What building?" I gave him a bunk building and bunk bed number, so he couldn't find me. Shit.
yeah.
But he gave me props though. I'm like, that's cool. He didn't, because he could have just, gaffled me up.
Gun tower officer named Darby. He said, yeah. He said, yeah, man. I had a clean shot, man, but I didn't take it. So you better knock it off. He told me that real nice and calm one day. And I said, shit, this motherfucker's crazy.
OG Steve said in the Northeast Bronx, they grew up on Jamaican, Puerto Rican, and Colombian bud and hydro.
Yeah,
Hey,
because
etc.
how did we get the Colombian way over here where we were at?
I don't know.
Shit.
You know how our government is. They probably was buying that weed. Shit.
It came out of nowhere. Okay, how come it was all commercial and then boom, the summer went by, nobody wants commercial no more. You couldn't give them a bag of commercial. Then you get these little Ziploc bags and you go tell me that's $10, $20. Yeah, but it's different. Man, where's my four-finger bag? Where's my real bag? No, it's like this now. You've been gone away too long. And I only had went to camp and came back, and that shit was over with. You know,
Man, yeah, I remember for the record, it was the gun tower on top of the gym.
on top of the gym. Yeah,
Let me see. I think I got all the questions.
cool.
But yeah, man, hopefully you guys are having a nice Friday night, and we appreciate you guys hanging out with us this Friday night.
Yeah, man, it's cool to be here with you guys on a Friday night.
That bow and that tie stick was on hit, then they both disappeared. Oh, chocolate tie. Yeah, that what I say. When I was young, it was all about chocolate tie and Indo, and actually, it was something. Was it Indo?
Indica, yeah,
Yeah, it was indica.
Indo,
It was indica and
Indica,
chocolate tie.
Indica, and the tie wrapped around the stick.
Yeah.
You know, there was never too much of that around. You would always be like, oh man, it would be around and it would just disappear for months. And then it just played out.
Well, good for you, Rob Moses, man. You blessed. You're a blessed man, man. That tie stick. We
Yeah.
used to when I was in junior high school. You know how when you come from elementary to junior high and you start experimenting. I
Yeah.
used to I used to roll up. We used to buy get these Indian papers, and then we try to put some weed or tobacco in them and shit. I thought I was cool as hell. Then I realized this shit don't do nothing for me. This shit making the back of my head hurt, and I gave that shit up.
Hell yeah. You
But
ever dried out banana peelings and smoked them?
nah, I got a story
Man.
about that though. Go ahead.
Oh, no, no, I'm just saying when we little kids, we're in East Lake Juvenile Hall. This dude then dried out these bananas. I go over to his bed and I say, man, what's that black shit in there? And he said, those are my bananas. They dried out now. You want to smoke some with me? I said, what do it do? He said, I'm gonna roll one up. So he rolls it up in Bible paper. And it kind of made me feel bad. I said, why you go roll it in the Bible paper? You don't got no real zigzags? He said, it ain't no zigzags in here. He says, the Bible paper's thin like the zigzags. So he wrote it up in the Bible paper. We light it up, get the smoke in it. Man, that shit gave me the worst headache, man. I was like, man, my head is pounding. And he running around laughing, but I couldn't get high off of it.
I used to trip off dudes that was using Bible paper to get high off of.
Yeah,
Hey,
man.
so
The new low bottom.
let me see. I used to ask him, "What commandment you smoking, homie?"
Yeah,
Let
that's
me
a new
see.
low bottom. You know the devil's in the recipe of you smoking the word.
Right. Pacoima Red said, "Ask OG Cuse what about a big money story."
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's my boy, Big Money. All right. So one time, Big Money had to check me. So okay, so I'm gonna tell this story.
Damn.
So
Wait,
we
wait,
had
wait. Before you tell the story, where was your knife at?
everything was cool, but Big Money had to check me. So we had a new foursome, and so Big Money's on the yard. I'm on the yard. Buster Jones is on the yard. Tony Stacy's on the yard. We got a hell of a yard. So we all out on the yard. So Money, he wants to start working out with the brims. So he's working out over there with the brims every day. But Money been with me all this time through YA, through Tracy and everything. So when Money finally gets to the level 4, he's working out. So I got Eddie Boy, Teaspoon. We got our own little car. We got weights. So Money in them's cars right across from ours. So one day I just say, Money, man, why you work out with those dudes, man? How come you don't work out over here with me? How come you don't work out over here with us? So Money got real quiet. And he was getting mad when I was telling him. And he says, Cutes. He said, and he was serious too. He says, hey, Cutes, check it out, man. You don't tell me who the fuck I gotta work out with, man. I can work out who the hell I want to work out with. I said, yeah, but those dudes, they ain't Crips. He says, I don't give a fuck. He says, I don't care. I can work out whoever I want to work out with. I said, all right, Money, man. No hard feelings, man. He said, all right. And then a month went by and we wouldn't say nothing to each other. We would just be red eyeing each other and shit. And then one day, Money said, he said, he came up to me and said, where's Big Bobo at? Big Bobo's from West Boulevard. So Big Bobo's a giant. He's kidding the Wayne Day and Honcho and all them. So Bobo got life too. So I said, what do you want with Bobo? He says, ask Bobo, do we want to have a bench press contest? So I says, all right. He says, who you gonna put your money on? I says, I don't know. I says, I see you bench a lot. I see Bobo hit a lot. I don't know how I'm gonna put my money on. And Money says, Well, if you're smart, you'll put your money on me. And I says, okay, let me go get Bobo. So I go get Bobo. I say, hey, Bobo, money's calling you out. Like, they calling me out for what? I said, bench press contest. You scared? You know I can instigate a bench press contest. So Bobo come over there. They go up on the top. We got wagon wheels. Man, that and 118 Capone was there that day. So we put the weights on. Boom, 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 boom. They start out with 315. Boom, put on another wheel, 400 and something. Put on 5 wheels. Now the shit's getting heavy for them. Man, money rode Bobo. He
Mm.
rode Bobo. So the
Yeah.
bets were cartons. So everybody bets cartons in there. And I won. Because I put my money on money.
Oh, I was about to say you outlifted everybody.
I know I can't lift weights like that. I can't hit that.
Yeah.
No, I can't hit nothing near that. No.
You never
Yeah, but
did time with Roscoe from Park Village, huh?
Roscoe from Park Village.
He probably never been to prison. YTS probably as far as he went.
Yeah, I don't think so. Yeah, so
Samoan dude.
I was sad
Samoan
when
dude.
the money went home. He told me he was going home, and then he got out, he left, and he got violated or something, and he came back and he had cardiac arrest.
Wait, Herman Moncrief listed you as an enemy?
Yeah, Herman Moncrief listed me as an enemy,
Why?
but him and Ducci
Why? You
from Benny
always
Sherlock,
speak
because
highly of
they didn't want to come. They didn't want to come to. Who would want to go to Old Folsom?
Oh, so it wasn't nothing personal.
No, they wrote me letters and asked me, was it cool if we put you on the enemy list?
Oh, all
And I
right.
said, yeah, go ahead, man, because we don't want to go to Old Folsom. Old Folsom sucked. It
I was
was the
about to say you
nastiest. It was the
I was about,
nastiest, worst prison.
yeah, I was gonna say you speak highly of Moncrief. I didn't see why y'all
Nah,
was beefing.
and we ended up being together in New Folsom.
Mm.
I was just on his list for a while, and then when they send you to a new institution, them dudes got to make a new list to keep away.
Hey, everybody. I understand that Roscoe's younger than Cubes. I know birthdays better than most. I mean, birth years better than most people, right? You can be, somebody can be 35 and been on the yard with Cubes. Age ain't got nothing to do with being in prison together.
Yeah, we had 19-year-olds out there.
Yeah, absolutely. You could be 18 in prison and motherfucker
Ask
could
that,
be 65.
ask that brother out of the valley, do he know Big Wine or do he know Yak or Grape 8?
Oh, he listening.
Yeah.
He said rest in peace, big money, OVG.
Oh, yeah. Well, I love Big Money. That was my dog, man.
She'll keep asking, what's your training resume like today?
Okay, so I was looking at Michael Christian's training at at uh at 69 years old, right? So he's the only thing I don't do. He's doing a lot of machine stuff. I hate machines. I like free weights. So everything I did when I was young and I was stronger, I do now the same, style: kick outs, skull crushers, curls, back arms, side arms. I alternate between dumbbell and straight bar, bench press, inclines, flat back declines, flies, dumbbells, dips, behind the neck pull ups, chin ups, push ups, and side squats, side bends, twists, and shadow box. So that and forearms, calf raisers, sit ups. That's basically, and run my dog up the hill. So that's basically my routine right there. And I do that, on different days,
Cute
basically on different
free
days.
weights, resistant bands, and body weight is the way to go.
See, I heard the only time I used those bands is one time when I was in therapy, the resistant bands. I
Yeah.
get the same feeling out of a cable pull down machine, you know. or that.
Yeah, I've been saying I was going to check on Roscoe. I haven't checked on Roscoe. I hit BG Gotti up, but yeah, I haven't hit Roscoe. I think Roscoe didn't respond last time I hit him.
Where's Roscoe from? Okay.
Park Village, Simone, Park Village.
Okay, cool.
Oh,
I had a Park Village homeboy that hardly nobody knew him. His name was Big fuck. He was a big old Samoan. We was friends in Tracy.
OG Cuse would have been a great U.S. Army drill sergeant. I could semi see that. I could semi see that. Them dudes that was in San Quentin doing that running around in the Crip in motion, they probably would have been some hell of a commanders of the army.
Well, it seemed like it was just like the army
It
when I
looked
would
like
watch them doing that.
yeah, it looked like it. Hey, Cuse, Go Young DJ wants to know: is it true that when Bunchy's brother became commander of the BGF, he called the hit off on Crips?
No, he couldn't. They're calling the hit off on Crips. No, the thing is that the BGFs they didn't want to just hit Crips. It wasn't like that. They didn't want Crips just coming in there fighting other brothers. They didn't want they didn't want like gang banging inside a prison that early when they were the power when they were the when they had all of the technology and know how the prison run and how to get stuff, how to make stuff when they were, the thugs of the day. They didn't want things to get out of hand. But the way they put us in there so deep and so fast, it just got out of hand with them having that kind of power. So, they
You,
couldn't control us.
you know what's crazy?
But 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 but,
A
but
brother
what's I don't want to interrupt. Go ahead, Kev.
a brother from Jama told me, like, you got all these dudes from Bounty Hunter, from Pyru, and in different sets that hit the prison system early on and joined Jama. They joined the BGF, and everybody made it seem like all the violence in the streets of LA was Raymond Washington's fault. And
Yeah,
nobody really wanted to stand up and speak on Raymond's behalf or on side. They didn't want to side with Raymond, where the majority of his friends, his recruits, and his adversaries, his rivals from the streets. And so it's almost hilarious how Raymond was able to stand up and go against them dudes and what have you, resisted them dudes and had the little incident when all the other dudes jumped right in line. And then we want to talk about after two dudes are dead or multiple dudes are dead, we want to talk about who would have beat up who. Well, we can't prove who would have beat up who if they didn't have a fight, but we can tell who had the most heart by who stayed down and didn't fall to the hands of the BGF.
and I, and the thing is that the uh, the BGF were so smart and so clever,
They were
even
all,
though
they
even
were
though the Crips didn't like them when we got there, we didn't like some of their ways
they were
because
older and seasoned. They knew the
there were
system better than you guys.
and there were two types of BGFs.
And they was first.
Yeah, and the BGFs that was real cool, they were the ones that were locked away in the hole away from us. Those were the ones that I met when I went to 4A. Those were the ones that was locked up in Max B in San Quentin. Those ones. The ones that was left out on the main line, those were the ones that were real crafty and sneaky and getting high and shooting drugs and shit. But even though those guys was falling for the drug addiction and everything, they still had power because they manipulated a group of Crips to manipulate another group of Crips that didn't even know that they were being ran by the BGF.
Yeah, absolutely, baby E. If you think about it, the BGF wanted what Crips want now, which is peace. However, baby E, let's complete that scenario or that sentence. There's a lot of Crips, young Crips now, the young Crips that don't want peace. And that's how it was in the prison system. You had some young Crips that was going to represent what they represented. They weren't going to serve two gods. So it was Crip. What Tookie say? Is it Crip or what? You
Yeah, he
feel?
was serious. We were serious about our cripping, and you had other guys serious about their gang. Then you had to look at guys who want foot soldiers. Do you want to be used by someone, or you just want to be someone's bitch? Just
And,
because they was there first, you gonna be so afraid? Oh, I'm gonna be a part of this. They're gonna protect me. I'm gonna protect my motherfucking self.
and
I
keep it
mean,
real.
man.
Keep it real. I'm not singling out no particular group, no particular race, but keep it real, man. From all that I heard, I wasn't there, but from all that I heard from way back then to now, a lot of them dudes was junkies, man. These dudes was junkies. So they didn't care about you or no solidarity. They care about how they gonna get money for their drugs and how they gonna be able to make you protect them while they high. And like Q said, foot soldiers. Y'all go out, y'all get that dope up and y'all get that tar up in here so we could get high. And that's all they cared about.
Yeah, man. It was a funky dynamic, man. There was some good jammers in the hole. They wasn't getting high. They was in there reading, studying. They were in there sticking together. They were in there talking right to people. They were in there schooling and teaching people.
I mean,
And if you wanted to be a part of them, you had to prove you wanted to be a part of them. They wasn't sliding nothing up under your door. They wasn't doing none of that crafty shit. They wasn't acting like that. And then the ones on the main line, they wasn't even following up on the business because those guys went to the hoe for something, and those guys on the main line didn't keep it going. They want a
because they
program.
wanted to get high.
You can't serve two masters. They wanted to get high.
Exactly.
You get more higher on the main line than you could do when you're in the hoe.
And I believe from an outsider, Cuse would know more than me, but just the opinion that I've drawn, a lot of them dudes that went high up, that rose up the ranks in prison gangs, had had become solid over the years. After a lot of time in there and being laced by dudes that were smart and into their books and already had years in before Crips and Bloods got in there. Them dudes learned from the best, and so they deserve to have the leadership that they had within the BGF or any other prison organization.
Yeah,
But
because there was some good BGFs that would school you the right way. There was some strong BGFs that you would look up to. You would see him and you would look up. Like me, I enjoyed a lot of the Black Panthers. They would school me. I enjoyed a lot of the BGFs that would school me too.
so you
And
you
none
and
of them.
Rockhead went in there hard headed. Y'all didn't even like them dudes at first, and then when y'all got a bar of what they really was about, then you could kind of befriend them and learn
Yeah,
from
when I learned from the ones that were in the hole. The
them.
ones on the main line, I could tell that they wasn't right.
Cuse, was you ever locked up with Big Bob from Harlem? If so, do you have any stories about him?
Oh yeah, big. When I got to Tracy the second time, Big Bob, all of us, we were there. Big H, uh, Tim, we were all on the line together. Uh, who else was there with us then? It was like maybe 70 or 100 of us. Frog was there then too, and we used to play football. We would play tackle football with our boots on in Tracy, and man, to tackle him, it took a bunch of us to tackle him. He would run straight up the middle. I think if anyone could have played professional football outside of him, Joe Ransom, uh, what's his name from ETG, Baycock, those guys could have been righteous running backs. Is Big Bob still alive?
I don't even know.
He used to have a big old natural.
I
He
don't
used to
know if
always,
he's still alive, but I'd heard when he got out, somebody asked him about an interview. He said he wasn't doing no interview.
he used to wear Engineer Bill hat.
Yeah, they was Crips. They was Crips, DJ. Did Tookie play a role in starting the Crips?
Of course. On the west side, in my neighborhood,
Did Baycott have to stop playing football because he got shot?
Tookie was my leader. I'm proud to say it. I'm proud to say that I was one of Tookie's boys.
Pookie wouldn't dare say it.
Yeah, I told Pookie I'm one of Took's. So yeah, I tell I'm one of Took's homeboy.
He didn't want to fight you.
He would be looking at me. So I'm one of
Yeah,
Took's.
Pookie
Yeah,
boy, Pookie hated that. I
yeah,
think I think when y'all saw Tookie put hands on him, he resented that the rest of his life.
yeah. Buddha set Tookie up. Hey, so what did that brother just say?
He said, did didn't Baycott have to stop playing football when he got shot?
No, Baycock was in college playing football and he missed the set. He would come home on his little passes, and then when he didn't like to go back, he was missing the set.
Papa said,
And when Baycock got shot, Baycock only got shot like in the shoulder. Baycock didn't get shot in the leg.
Papa uh, said he still be a King Park, Big Bob.
What did he say about Big Bob?
He still be at King Park over there in the 30s.
Oh, well, that's cool. Send my regards to Big Bob.
Yeah.
Tell him, tell him, cute. Say what's up. Rusty was there with me at the same time Big Bob was there. We were all in Tracy at the same time.
Man. Did you ever think Monster was going to be a Crip when he grew up?
Oh yeah, I knew all the kids over there would be Crips. Yeah,
DJ said that's what his brother said.
yeah, I knew all of them. His brother wasn't no Crip though. His
No,
big brother Kerwin.
no,
Kerwin was.
he's that question about his brother is about the question about being shot.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Big Dad, what up with it? I think Pookie felt he was his own leader, being that he established different territories throughout LA and had a name. Nah, you know what? Pookie knew. Pookie knew. Pookie looked up to what's that dude? Cute's the Padres. Cute Pookie looked up to the Padres, then Melvin Hardy.
Believe it, but and Pookie's best friend at this time, Pookie's best friend was Michael Christian.
Oh, he loved Michael Christian, Dirty Draws, man.
Yeah, they were
What
like best buddies.
what you say, dudes meet through conflict, become friends?
Yeah.
Yeah, he loved Mike Christian, man. Mike Christian's a cool dude. I don't know why he been bullshitting with this book and these interviews, man.
Yeah, because he been doing the ones on TV. Yeah, I didn't know they had one of them at 69. He still looks cool. He was
Oh
buffing
yeah,
at
yeah, he do
69.
for real, he do. Fitzgerald, this is a phenomenal question right here, and it's a very simple question. But the reason why I think it's such a great question is because the way he talks, he admires both these guys. So, Cutes, here go the question.
Yeah.
Who had more influence on your cripping, Big Took or Big Mouse?
Donald Archie.
He skipped both of them.
Donald Archie.
Wow. Don Archie raised you, Cutes.
Yeah, and my buddy, my close buddy was Gary Lane. Gary Lane had a good influence on me too. Big Odell used to always take me to fight. He would always have a fight set up. I miss Odell. That was Odie's big brother.
Yeah, Q's got like 5 kids. They melon walls. They Rob Moses want to know: do you have kids or do you want any kids?
Nah, I spent too much time locked away.
When you was coming up, the dudes looked down on people if they wanted to leave the gang life.
Nah, man. See, that's that movie stuff again. We would if a person didn't want to be about it on the street, they could just go live with their auntie or go move on the other side of town. You don't got to keep coming around us, rubbing it in our nose. You could just go.
Monster Cody said Tookie had a driver named T Bone. Any stories on T Bone?
No, because when T Bone was the driver, I was already locked up. When I was out, the driver was Davy Crockett.
Davy Crockett.
Yeah, Davy Crockett was like maybe 6'6", and he lived on 78th and Van Ness, and he ended up joining a motorcycle club. I don't know which one it was though, but
This is a pretty good
Crockett
question.
was the driver.
Baby E says, Cutes, what name stood out that was pushing brims from what is now Crip territory?
Well, over there, the L.A. Brims, they were the number one Brims when I was on the street. 5'9" was like the younger Brims. The L.A. Brims were the G Brims. 5'9" was the baby G's, and so some of that territory is gone by Menlos. The Menlos don't know that they magnificent sevens. They don't know that that territory right back up in there, 67. That was our seven territory. And but Menlos, they went across Butlong, and they went from Butlong across back up. So they got all that. They got all that territory now. That used to be our brands too.
So, so when you got locked up and you hit the pen after you was there for a few years in the 60s and A trays is at odds, was did they both gravitate to you? Could you keep them from fighting each other?
Yeah. We had a big old car of just them mixed together.
Mm.
Yeah.
Cuse, have you ever been out the country on a vacation since you paroled?
No, I haven't been out of the state of California. No.
Cuse, did you know Ice T?
Iced tea. Yeah, I'll tell you, I used to see iced tea every day when I was going to Crenshaw. I would see him every day.
So Tony Moore, Cuse and Ice T went to Crenshaw together, and Ice T is 1 year younger than than Cuse. And Ice T told a funny story. He said, yeah, he said you see Cuse in them all the time, but Cuse was hardcore cripping. So Ice would stay away from them dudes and just admire them from a distance. I think
Yeah,
he said he used to see them at the bus stop. I
I
think,
would see him. I would see him on the Crenshaw bus sometime. I
yeah.
would see him at the school. I would see him at the park. I would see him all the time. But we wasn't like like talking and kicking it when we see each other.
Cuse, what kind of reception did visiting brothers get from the Bay Area back in the late 80s?
What kind of reception did who get?
Visiting brothers get from the Bay Area back in the late 80s?
Visiting?
Yeah.
Okay, so who's visiting who? Is the brothers from LA visiting the Bay, or is the Bay visiting the brothers down in LA?
Girl, dad, what up with it?
But nobody was tripping off of the brothers from from up north, because you got to remember Mr. X came from up north. He always told us that the brothers up there was cool, and the brothers up there is down. You got to remember that up north, they had the 6ix9ine mob. They had different street gangs up there. They had the dealers up there and the hustlers and the pimps. So they can't try to act like they were all, about the blackness too. We Even though we were all thugged out down there where I was at, we were just making it through our poverty. the best way we knew how, and they was up north making it through theirs. It's when you read a few books and you realize that some of the shit you doing is, basically, complimenting genocide. Till you realize that, you can't beat it into someone. They gotta get it when they get it.
All right, y'all give me a date when y'all want me to go over some of these books. And what do I do? Just show you the titles, or do I tell you what I thought about them?
Yeah. Or
Well,
you could read some of the index in them and stuff.
yeah, y'all got to give me some type of idea since you guys been asking me of late.
Yeah.
But man, I don't hear your dogs tonight.
Because I fed them real good and they probably sleep.
The little one ain't snoring tonight.
Yeah, he's snoring right now. He's out like a human being.
How deep was Magnificent Seven in his prime?
Oh shit, about 13,
13.
about 13 deep.
Oh, Hilton Booker, man. Hilton Booker.
I told Booker, don't come outside. I said, just go home. I said, you going home in a month, man. Don't be coming out to the yard. Just chill in your cell and go home.
Booker like prison, man. Magnificent Seven right here, y'all. Mag 7. KP Video News knows him. And Trip, he got some pictures in here too. Not
Let
that
me see.
many.
Let me see a couple of the pictures he got.
Well, I showed you his dad, and I showed you him with Jim Brown.
Yeah.
Okay, here's a picture. Let's see if you know who this guy is. And they're on 7th Avenue. So whose house is this in front of? If you can see it.
Damn, I can't see it.
Can
Damn, what kind
what
of
about,
car is that? A Cadillac or a 57?
it's a damn, I can't see. August Ingram.
Dan Inglewood.
Yeah, 7th Avenue.
Yeah, that's back up there where he lived at. That might be his cousin. That might be his cousin from Venice Shoreline. He used to hang
Perry.
out with a brother from Perry. He's hanging out
And
with a
what
brother named Perry.
and what hood is I mean, who lived over that way?
Well, he lived over that way.
KP Video News, you still in here? Your boy in the wheelchair.
Oh, Philip.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's over on. Oh,
That's crazy.
You should have set up for Manchester.
Yeah, but the reason why I said 7th Avenue is because that's what it say in the book.
Oh, okay. If you would have
But
set up Manchester,
man,
I'd be
Philip
all
McCain kept trying to give me an interview, man, but he couldn't sit still. So when I would
right.
go over there, he don't be there and shit. And then he told me next time just wait on me. So I went over there and there was Bloods over there. I'm like, man, I ain't waiting over here for no damn interview.
Yeah, they like Philip.
Hilton was kind of cut up for a minute, huh?
Yeah, Hilton would work out.
Yeah, he bigger than his daddy as far as his arms go, but the daddy was way taller than him.
His grandfather, huh?
I'm looking at his father. My bad.
Yeah.
He go a Christmas picture in Delano Prison, 2006.
Wow, Hilton's been in jail all his life. He's like Vertus Swan.
Got out and went right back. Yeah, big nose Perry, man.
Yeah, just like Swan. Swan got out, stayed out a long time, then came back and got washed up.
Man, that 3 strike is tricky. After you stay out for so long, they ought to give you a pass on that shit.
Yeah, they ought to wipe that clean. So you just got 1 strike now.
Yeah, if you could beat your probation or parole, then your strike should reset too.
Yeah. They shouldn't even have a strike.
I agree with that. But the dumb people of California voted for it. So
Yeah, they gonna vote for dumb shit. You think Zelensky's gonna go back home in a boat? Because I think they'll blow him out of the sky if he go in the airplane.
well, he's going to Europe first, so they ain't gonna fuck with him in Europe.
Or you better be careful because they got ways of poisoning you through your food and all kind of shit. They could send a dart at you.
Your boy was at the Playboy Club in 1980 with the Playgirl bunnies.
Yeah. I'm surprised he ain't got no pictures of mouse deer.
Maybe if he wrote some other books, he probably do.
He had a bunch of pictures. When he was in there with me, he had more pictures than I did of my family.
Oh, this is a good one right here. He got a flick of him and Fast Black.
Oh, that's cool. Wow.
On
Fast
the
Black
street,
look like he do Fast Black look like he does in the picture with Raymond?
Raymond. Nah, but he looked like he was a solid Crip in his
Oh,
physique, in his arms, and his afro, and his
yeah,
dress style.
yeah.
They on
You know,
Hollywood Boulevard.
yeah, Fast Black was he knew how to do tricks on a motorcycle.
Mm.
He could ride it standing up on the seat.
Oh, of course, Rob Moses. If they don't fund the Ukraine war, yeah, it's a wrap. Russia gonna tear them up. But I like when Zelensky said, he said, dude said the war be over in 3 days. We
Yeah,
still fight.
still fighting. He ain't, and the bottom line, he ain't gonna believe Putin because he already crossed him once. So he wanted insurance. If he's gonna sign off some minerals, give Trump a whole mountain, he wants some security. He's not
Well,
just gonna give a chunk.
Them Europeans gonna have
Oh,
to broker the deal.
yeah.
Q, can you recall a day in prison that was the funniest day you was locked up?
Funniest day? Damn. A funny day.
Let me tell you the funniest day to me in
Yeah.
your prison sentence.
All right.
When you said you was choking a dude and you felt like you wanted to choke him until your release date.
Oh yeah, but I was only in the county jail with him. So he
Oh,
was
oh,
gonna be choked
oh,
for a long ass time.
hell yeah, exactly. Oh, that was jail. Okay, I
Yeah.
got you. Man,
So
that
I don't
was funny
remember.
as
I
hell.
can't. No funny day stands out to me. Really in prison
Hmm.
because I wasn't a funny kind of a person in there.
Yeah, you too serious, man.
Yeah.
I told you, Mumpy said you used to be over in the corner just looking in the air, looking mad in the air and shit like you was by yourself. And he said all the Crips would be nearby in at their little tables and shit. He said, man,
Yeah.
Cuse was too serious, man. Hey, Kev Mac,
Right.
salute. I just watched Dr. Crip podcast. He's promoting his book, Cal League. It's about gangs. He was playing baseball, and I thought about you since you said baseball, your number one sport. Right? Good looking.
That's cool.
KP Video News, y'all. It's KP Video News, y'all. Nikki Lee, what's up? Tony Moore, what up? Black Warrior Spirit,
How many we got in the box, Kev? How many? How many? Mac
159,
here? Because
159.
my phone got like 18 minutes left.
All right, it's all good.
Yeah,
You
because I
know,
couldn't find my charger. I think
this
my
ain't like prison. You free to leave whenever you want.
Yeah, I think my dog took the damn charger. Now I gotta go find it because
All right.
he moves stuff around. So like, where did he take it? So I can see it, but I don't see it.
Oh man.
Let's go stay until it go out. If you guys see me black out, that mean the charger went down. I hang in there with y'all.
So I read 118 pages of this book called Charles N. Hunter by
What
John H. Haley.
What was that one about? Was that a good one?
Yeah, but I don't know why I never finished. I think I stopped reading it because I was out of town and I came back to California.
Yeah. Funny thing about when you put a marker in a book and you start back, you remember some of the stuff you already read and you get back into it again.
I think he stole this book and gave it to me though.
Yeah.
Oh man. Oh man. Wilmington riot, North Carolina. That's what he talks about in the book.
Okay.
Cuse, is your childhood home still standing?
Oh well, they tore the house down and they built some funny looking house on the same yard.
Oh wow. Did you know any Dalton block brims?
Yeah. Yeah, Dalton. Yep. Remember the brims were on Dalton. Yeah.
Yeah, man. I remember this guy, a partner L's older brother, Herman. Herman had used to tell me about him, and I wouldn't listen because he was a crackhead and an alcoholic,
Yeah.
and he was really handicapped. So it's like, man, all the reasons not to listen to this dude.
Yeah.
And then when he died, I'm like, damn, man, that nigga was lacing me with all this history, and I would refuse to even pay attention.
Was he a Crip or a brim?
He favored Crips, but he wasn't a gang member.
Okay.
He favored Crips. The 40s shot him up on King Boulevard when the 40s and 30s got into it. They thought he was a 30. But
Yeah.
he dressed G'd up. He dressed like Fran Sanford all the way to his death. He used to
Yeah.
wear the Pendletons. Matter of fact, I got a video of him when he got shot. I mean, after he got shot. So he was on crutches. He got shot in the booty, and I think he got shot in the foot and the ass.
Damn, he got
Cuse, I
shot
love
up.
when Michael Jordan said during Kev Mac's interview, you was always fighting someone.
That's crazy.
Derek Lewis, good looking out. YouTube says 1 billion people watched podcasts last month. Thanks for content. Absolutely, man. We bring you what we can, man. It may not be the best content, but we're not here to put people down and belittle people unless we joking and
Yeah, having
make it
fun.
comical.
Yeah. We're
What
not
was your
clout
favorite
chasers.
genre of books in prison?
I used to like to read psychology books and recovery books. You know, looking in, looking out, Adler in town, emotional intelligence versus IQ. I read stuff like that. I read books on you know uh, the prison personality volume 1, 2, and 3. You know, I read
What was Bimbo a Magnificent Seven?
Bim Bimbo took Donna Archie. They were original West Sides, but they were like Magnificent Sevens. Yeah.
Yeah, Mr. Michaels, but I think it's just temporary.
And
I think,
Bimbo's still locked up.
damn.
And Bimbo been locked up going on 40 years.
Cutes, would you return to Soul Train if they invited you for a reunion?
No. I don't got them moves like I had when I was a kid. And I couldn't find that sister that I was dancing with. Her hair went all the way down to her hips.
Damn.
And it wasn't no weave, it was her shit.
Man, back then they was natural.
Yeah.
Bimbo
She
had a
went,
clean ass 64 Chevy.
I did.
Ocean River or lake would you prefer? Ocean River or lake?
Ocean River. I would prefer an Ocean River.
First lowrider I ever seen with a working TV.
Oh, it was shit. You must have been back in the 60s when they had record player 45s in them.
He talking about Bimbo.
Oh yeah, Bimbo had the cleanest lowriders. Bimbo had Bimbo had the cleanest 64 I ever saw.
That's what he
Chain
said.
steering wheel, TV, uh, fucking suede seats. Him and Mouse, all them dudes know how to fix up cars. Karate Man. I think Karate Man's father was painting all them cars over there.
Karate
Hey,
Man.
what's that brother's name that know Bimbo? That's gotta be my homeboy.
That's KP Video News. KP.
Okay.
Sinbad.
Oh yeah. Well, Sinbad. Oh yeah, Sinbad know everybody.
Yeah, Chain Gang Sinbad.
Yeah, Sinbad know everybody. Yeah. Yeah, old Bimbo's locked up, man. Still locked up,
The
man.
brown 64 with the crushed velvet interior.
Yeah, crushed velvet. Had a chain, had a chain stick shift because it was a 4 speed. Had a chain, long chain stick shift hooked up in there. Uh, he had to weld the chain in places and then dip it in a chrome.
How's your hand doing?
I still can't make a complete fist like I can with this one.
Man,
So I was driving with it today. I was gripping the steering wheel. I can't hold my white dog with it yet, though. So
Karate Man had a sharp 67 orange.
there you go. And Mouse had an orange, gold looking orange 69 Riviera before he started driving them Cadillacs.
Cutes, did you ever bump any rap like Ice Cube or Tupac, etc.?
Unfortunately, when I was in the joint, I didn't listen to no rap.
Damn. That shit got on your nerves, Cutes?
Now I would just listen to them old ass songs and shit, and I would be thinking of back in the day. I'd be jamming them old songs, old school shit.
I remember my baby mama sent me West Side Connection tape.
Yeah, I'd
And
be
man, I
jamming
used to
that.
play it over. I kept it on repeat, man. And
Yeah.
I went to the yard one day. I had won a radio. I won this boom box in a spade game. So I go out to the yard with my boom box and my tape. And your boy Mumpy said, "Oh man, let me see that tape." And he pulls the tape out of my radio, and
Mm.
he says with a serious face, and puts it back in the radio with authority, and says, "Oh man, that's a swap meet tape." Just bust my bubble. I didn't care if it was swap meet or not. Fool, come
I
bow
got
down when we come to
yeah.
your town, man. That's all I want to hear.
I
Mom
I
said,
got I got clown one day on the yard, and it made me send my 8 track home and all my 8 track tapes.
"Damn,
And that was in like 90, so like 99. I said, man, I'm sending this shit home. I'm gonna get me a cassette player. Hey, you remember
Tony."
them Walkmans? I didn't want one. The dudes was actually wearing Walkmans in prison.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
had one too. I won all
yeah,
my shit. I didn't buy
yeah.
my shit. I
You would
won it
wear
all.
them. I wouldn't ever wear a Walkman outside of my
Oh no,
man.
I would only wear it when I'm going to sleep at night, and
Yeah.
that would be when everybody else already sleep.
Mm-hmm.
I need to be aware if somebody was walking up on me or something.
All right.
All right, it's Cutes froze. Cutes is out of here, y'all. That's it for OG Cutes. Yeah, that was cool. Almost 2 hours. I'm finna run to the sports channel because the sports channel is almost monetized, y'all. So if y'all into sports or y'all want to help me get these watch hours real quick, go to Capping with Kev Mac. And if you like sports, subscribe to the channel. I'm finna run over there for a few minutes. Y'all have a good night. Thanks for the super chats and cash apps, everybody. It was a lovely night. Thanks for my moderators moderating. Appreciate y'all. I'm out.